Humans are delaying the next ice age by 50,000 years, say researchers. This by Joint Kennel of the Science Explorer. This illustrates very clearly that we have long entered a new era. We're all aware of the threats climate change pose to life as we know it: warming temperatures, rising sea levels, severe droughts, food shortages, threats to freshwater supplies, etc., and more extreme and severe weather. But a new study suggests that our carbon footprint is causing this change to last much, much longer than it should. Humanity has become such a powerful geological force that we're actually suppressing the beginning of the next ice age. Now, to some people it could be good. Some people want the next ice age, or just a natural occurrence of it. Now, according to researchers of the Potsdam Institute for Climate Impact Research, the level of carbon dioxide, CO2, in the atmosphere has suppressed the next ice age, meaning it will now be twice as long before the planet undergoes another glacial cycle. Quote, even without man-made climate change, we would expect the beginning of a new ice age no earlier than in 50,000 years from now, which makes the Holocene, as the present geological epoch, an unusually long period in between ice ages, end quote. This was explained by lead author Andrzej Ganapolski. And he says, however, our study also shows that relatively moderate additional anthropogenic CO2 emissions from burning oil, coal, and gas are already sufficient to postpone the next ice age for another 50,000 years, end quote. What this means is that because of anthropogenic activities coupled with Earth's natural cycle, we don't see another ice age for 100,000 years, if the researchers are correct. Quote, the bottom line is that we are basically skipping a whole glacial cycle, which is unprecedented, end quote, said Ganapolski. Quote, it is mind-boggling that humankind is able to interfere with a mechanism that shaped the world as we know it, end quote. According to the researchers, the onset of the past 8 ice ages was due to a combination of both the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere and the amount of incoming solar radiation. And using this relationship, researchers can predict when the next ice age will occur. They used an Earth system model to simulate the atmosphere, ocean, ice sheets, and global carbon cycle, as well as analyze the effects of human-made CO2 emissions on ice volume in the northern hemisphere. The results of the simulation showed that since anthropogenic CO2 remains in the atmosphere for a very long time, past and future emissions have a significant impact on when the next ice age will occur. Quote, our analysis shows that even small additional carbon emissions will most likely affect the evolution of the northern hemisphere ice sheets over tens of thousands of years, and moderate future anthropogenic CO2 emissions of 1,000 to 1,500 gigatons of carbon are bound to postpone the next ice age by at least 100,000 years, end quote. This is what the co-author Ricardo Wickelman said. The beginning of an ice age is usually marked by periods of very low solar radiation in the summer, exactly what we have been and will be continuing to experience. However, where there is no evidence that an ice age is about to begin, the question then becomes, why not? And this is what motivated the researchers to determine everything involved in starting an ice age. Quote, like no other force on the planet, ice ages have shaped the global environment and thereby determined the development of human civilization. For instance, we owe our fertile soil to the last ice age that also carved out today's landscapes, leaving glaciers and rivers behind, forming fjords, moraines, and lakes. However, today it is humankind, with its emissions from burning fossil fuels, that determines the future development of the planet, end quote. This is what co-author, director, Potsdam Institute Hans Joachim Schellenberg said. And he adds, this illustrates very clearly that we have long entered a new era, and that in the Anthropocene, humanity itself has become a geological force. In fact, an epoch could be ushered in which might be dubbed the deglacial, end quote. Sounds like they are hinting at a planet that will no longer have any glaciers, and that's scary stuff. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.